everyone. How are you and how are you doing today? This is Sharon Shahid, and I welcome you all to this amazing webinar that's titled Online Business Opportunities for Women. And it is organized by Skills to Do and Bazar Center in Calcutta. I hope you're doing well, and I hope all of you join. We're going to begin this session in another few minutes. Why are we holding this event, and what is the motive behind it, and why do we felt the need to do this? In the past few years, we've noticed a rise in online selling. We've noticed a rise in more online businesses, and we've noticed an escalating rise in digital technologies taking over jo businesses very in identifying the right struggles and using the right resources to overcome the right challenges. So we thought कि क्यों ना इस सब areas को tackle. Start your business. What is it that you need to do? If you want to scale it up, what is it that you should have? So that is why we organized this webinar, and we have a range of 4 amazing successful women Yeah, so sorry, I disappeared for a couple of seconds. Internet problems will be there. We apologize to you in advance for any issues. And have the same time, and we quickly switch to the other one. Okay, so I was talking about the panelists. We have four amazing women panelists और कैसे अपने business को grow और expand किया. So today we have with us Shamila Ismail, who's the founder and CEO of Kharpar. Welcome to the session, Shamila. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here with all of you.
Thank you so much. And we also have with us Temina Chaudhary, who's the founder and CEO of Insta Foods Private Limited. Okay. Assalamualaikum, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sharon?
I'm fine, Allah ka shukr. And we have Aisha Zaman Hamad, who's the founder and CEO of Skills to Do and Bazar Center.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for hosting me.
Thank you so much for organizing this. And we have Nida Jafri with us, who's the founder and CEO of Nashte Wale.
Hi, Sharon.
Assalamu alaikum, Nida. How are you? Looking lovely.
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll begin this discussion with Shamila. Shamila, I want you to elaborate on your journey. How did you start off with Gharpar? What was the idea and inspiration behind it?
So, Gharpar is a very simple idea. Nothing fancy about it, something that was happening for years and years, especially in subcontinent. So we all had waxing value who used to come to our houses, perform the service, and go back. But there were lots of pain points attached to it. So we said that why don't we just come up with a solution to these pain points, whether it's the demand side, the client, or the supply side, the beauticians, and bridge that gap. So once we started doing our extensive research, we found out that what are the pain points, and slowly and steadily we started bridging them up and came up with a solution called Gharpar. So that's how we started. And we started very lean. Can you hear me? Shirun, I
Yes,
can't
I
Yes,
hear
we
think
can
you.
we
hear
all
you.
can.
We can hear you loud and clear. Lovely, Shamila. So, what were the initial obstacles that you faced?
Um, सबसे पहले तो we did not have any app. We
Right.
started with a website जिसके ऊपर से हम booking form हमने साथ attach कर दी थी. We were four founders and none of us was tech savvy. We learned with time that how we wanted to start a tech company, but how to be a tech company without having any prior tech knowledge. So what we did was that we started Lean. वहाँ से हम लोगों ने एक वेबसाइट बना के उसके साथ गूगल फॉर्म अटैच कर दी जहाँ से हमें सिर्फ अपॉइंटमेंट्स का फ्लो आना शुरू हुआ. We started marketing on Facebook and Instagram. And
Right.
we did try Google Ads, but that didn't work for us because our clients, our end users, were mostly on Facebook. So we
Oh,
just
okay.
targeted on Facebook with them. और फिर वहाँ से we used to take the appointment, the order, process it, everything manually on Excel sheets, and would keep writing down all the processes that what is working for us and what is not working for us. And slowly and steadily, we started putting together a manual what is that's working. And once we had that, then we started making the app. शुरू में हम लोग पहली app बनाई, it was a disaster. It did not work. There were so many bugs that it just
Okay.
collapsed. We had outsourced that. Then we said, Ketcha, why don't we bring a team in-house and build it ourselves? Again, you see, we had no tech knowledge, but still we kept guiding them what we want in the app. It progressed a bit, but not as much as we want. And finally, then we onboarded a CTO, and now our lives are like much relaxed, and things are going forward. Lots of changes in the app, and things are going very smoothly. So thank God, as far as tech is concerned, we are quite sorted out. Apart from tech, the other problem that we
Yeah.
faced was the supply side, human resource.
Right. Right.
So, unfortunately, under the umbrella of beauty services, a lot of prostitution takes place. So, when we went
Mm.
out to these communities to tell the women that we have a solution for you, we will give you a skill set and give you an opportunity to run your own micro enterprises, and you will be able to earn up to 40 to 50,000 rupees a month. It sounded too good to be true. So they're like, अच्छा पता नहीं हमसे क्या करवाएंगे, especially लोगों के
Oh,
घरों में जाके
right.
सर्विस करवानी है. So in the beginning, no one came to our platform. We literally had to
Okay.
beg these women कि please come and join. मुश्किलों से we had 6 women who joined our platform. We trained them,
Ah,
and once
right.
they became active and started earning. So people around them started seeing कि अच्छा नहीं, this is legit. और फिर लोग आना शुरू हुए. So now, mashallah, say we have 200 plus women on our platform, and
Wonderful.
they're all earning. They are the main breadwinners, which is like really, really close to our hearts. And things have changed, mashallah.
Wow, this is wonderful, and I had no idea that that would be an obstacle. So
We
this
did.
is
We didn't anticipate that as well.
wow, wow, and that's such a great feat. So, Shamila, how difficult it is for a woman to start a tech-based company, especially considering the fact that you just mentioned that you guys weren't tech savvy. So, how difficult was that phase?
It still is difficult. So in the
Right.
beginning, to make, because tech space is generally predominantly led by a male.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for them, like if you enter into a room, एक tech की meeting हो रही है, there'll be like hundreds of men and two, three, just a handful of women standing over there in a corner and trying to make their way through. And everybody's looking at them कि अच्छा ये शायद वैसे ही आई हैं, किसी की बीवियां होंगी.
Hmm. Hmm.
Slowly making them understand that no, we are
Yeah.
running a tech company. For us, the main hurdle was for them to, for us to make them realize that it's not a beauty business that we're running. We're running a tech company. It's a marketplace. So everybody
Yeah.
would be,
Yeah.
oh, अच्छा, आपका तो parlor है ना? Like, no, it's not a parlor. It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
marketplace that we're running. We have different components to it. We've started with the beauty component, but actually it's a tech company that we're running. So now, after 4 years, they have given us the credit that yes, these, especially
Finally.
women, are managing it and doing a great job. like अभी भी कई कई
Mashallah.
दफा हमें सुनने को मिलता है ओह अच्छा ठीक है आपका तो पार्लर ही है ना
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're used to it. It's okay.
It's okay. They can keep thinking that, and you can keep catering to all those other wonderful women
True.
who support your idea and who are benefiting so much from this, because this has brought a lot of ease for women like me who do not always have the time to go out to get those beauty services. इनके लिए बहुत बड़ी convenience है ये, and this is something wonderful. So, how
Thank
did you
you.
carry out the research to identify that pain point and identify your target market?
So what we did was कि शुरू में we sent out a Google service to as many people as we knew in our circles. As I mentioned before, we were four founders, so हमारा अपना network भी एक था, and we were based in Lahore. So we started sending out these Google forms and started conducting like small groups of survey with people, focus groups. And there we found out that out of all the women that we did conduct the survey with, 90% of them were already availing beauty services at home. So we said that, okay, fine. So why don't you tell us the pain points that that you face? Once they told us those pain points, it was basically the pain points were that कि जी time पे नहीं आती ये औरतें, hygienic नहीं है, professional नहीं है, they don't know the skill set. So we said, okay, fine, these are the pain points. And then on the other hand, when we started conducting the focus groups with already existing at-home beauticians, like all the waxing ladies and all, they started telling us कि जी हम वहाँ जाते हैं हमें घंटों wait करना पड़ता है. The client haggles a lot on the price. कि जी
Oh,
अच्छा आज इतना ले लो, अगले मैं और लोगों को ले आऊंगी, तो उनसे तुम ज्यादा कर
yeah.
लेना, ठीक है? And
Haggling to
so
is in our roots now.
so इस तरह की उनको छोटी छोटी प्रॉब्लम्स आती थी. So we said, okay, fine, why don't we just solve these problems? We had to work on both the ends. Even we had to educate the client as well कि जी आप हमारी जब beautician आएगी, if you're saying 2 p.m. you want the service, the technician will be at your place at 2 p.m. You cannot make the technician wait. That was a big shock for the client कि अच्छा मुझे उसी वक्त करवाना पड़ेगा. So look,
Oh,
we had to impose penalties on the clients as well कि जी आप अगर वेट करवाएंगी तो वेटिंग चार्जेस भी देंगी, वो एक्स्ट्रा आपको पड़ेंगे. शुरू शुरू में तो हर किसी को लगा कि ये मजाक है कुछ नहीं होगा, but once we did actually start implementing them, so now Allah ka shukr, nobody makes our technician's weight, and if the technician is weight, she has to pay extra as well. Matlab, she has to give a discount to the client.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
both,
Makes sense.
both of them are there on time. Things have become very easy for us. Shukr Allah ka.
Mashallah, that's lovely. Yep. Streamlined okay everything. So, it's moving in a
Hmm.
very systematic manner and things are great. Wonderful, Shamila. I'm going to come back to you after some time. And now I want to ask Tahmina A. Chaudhary about her journey and how she started off with Insta Foods. So, how did you come up with this idea and what was the inspiration behind it?
Sharun, there's a long story behind that, how we come up with Insta Foods idea. But the thing is that, I co-founded Insta Food with my husband, and we both are doing, running businesses throughout our life, but we have been in service industry. So when we moved to Pakistan, we wanted to, come into a manufacturing industry, and we have three options at that point of time, जो कि हमेशा होते हैं, that रोटी कपड़ा और मकान वाली बात थी कि ये हमने इन तीन चीज़ों में जाना है, क्योंकि उस वक्त ये था कि आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट लाइक 2010। तो उस वक्त की बात ये है कि उस वक्त टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री हमारी जो है उस वक्त काफ़ी सेशन में थी, और के बिजनेस से ये था कि माय हस्बैंड वाज एसोसिएटेड रियल एस्टेट एंड आई एम एन इंटीरियर डिजाइनर बाय माय प्रोफेशन। तो हम दोनों उसके से मतलब कंस्ट्रक्शन समहाउ और सूनर लेटर हम उसमें इन्वॉल्व रहे थे। एंड आई बिलीव दैट दैट इज अ थैंकलेस जॉब, तो वो हम लोग कर चुके थे। तो देन फूड वाज द ऑप्शन, एंड वी बोथ वर इनटू हेल्दी ईटिंग हैबिट्स, और हमेशा हम लोग कोशिश करते रहते थे कि व्हाट स्पेशली माय हस्बैंड इज वेरी हेल्थ कॉन्शियस, और वो मुझे भी बड़ा मोटिवेट करते रहते थे। तो हमने ये सोचा कि चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद समथिंग यूनिक that is healthy. What you are is what you eat. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we started Insta Food. So initially there were many challenges, and the first was that we both were not skilled enough to run a food business. So what we have done कि हमने सारी research की, market research की, we have been to SMEDA, agriculture university, और जो सारी basics थी वो हमने अपनी पूरी की, and then we decided to start the dehydration of food. उसमें भी when we have started, तो there were many question marks से कहाँ से start करें, कैसे start करें, hiring the right team was a big challenge for us. But alhamdulillah, when we have started in 2011, हमने सबसे पहले जो बेसिक सर्टिफिकेशंस थी वहाँ से स्टार्ट किया। हमने ये डिसाइड किया कि जो सारी सर्टिफिकेशंस है वो वहाँ हम पहले लें। नॉर्मली क्या होता है, जब आप एक फूड का बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं तो आप स्टार्ट कर देते हैं और सर्टिफिकेशंस वगैरह की तरफ आप बाद में जाते हैं।
Hmm.
बट वी हैव डिसाइडेड कि हम सर्टिफिकेशंस वगैरह की तरफ पहले जाएंगे, ताकि हमें सब हमारी साथ में ट्रेनिंग भी रहे, हमें सब कुछ पता हो। क्योंकि व्हाट वी बिलीव, और जो हम अब भी स्ट्रांगली बिलीव करते हैं, और आई एम प्राउड ऑफ इट, कि जो इंस्टीट्यूट्स है हमारी सारी प्रोडक्ट्स जो है ना वो क्वालिटी में कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज उसका नहीं है। यू कैन वर्क फॉर इट। और हम अपने क्लाइंट्स को, जितने भी हमारे कस्टमर्स हैं, क्लाइंट्स हैं, उनको कहते हैं कि जी आप दुनिया की जाके इसको टेस्ट करवा सकते हैं, जो लेबल पे लिखा होगा अंदर वही चीज होगी। तो ये हम हर एक को मतलब बड़े प्राउडली चैलेंज कर रहे थे। सो दिस इज हाउ स्टार्टेड। और शुरू में फिर हम पार्टनरशिप में भी गए कुछ, और वी हैड बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस, और मगर ये कि वो ट्रायल एंड एरर की बेसिस पे वी हैव लर्नड अ लॉट, एंड वी स्टार्टेड विद B2B। उसके बाद
Right.
हम B2B करते रहे, एंड विद इन 1 year ऑफ आवर इनकॉर्पोरेशन जितनी भी बड़ी फूड इंडस्ट्रीज हैं उनकी हम वेंडर लिस्ट पे आ गए, रजिस्टर्ड हम उनके वेंडर बन गए। उसके बाद हमने फिर डेफिनेटली, जब आप कोई चीज़ स्टार्ट करते हैं तो फिर आपका दिल चाहता है कि आपका नाम हो, यू कम अप विद योर ओन ब्रांड। सो फिर वी हैव स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन आवर ओन ब्रांड, एंड व्हाट वी हैव डिसाइडेड कि हम जो है 100% नेचुरल ब्रांड लेकर आएंगे। And we wanted to bring a green revolution in food industry, कि हर चीज़ ग्रीन हो, हेल्दी हो, नेचुरल हो, कोई प्रिजर्वेटिव, कोई एडिटिव ना हो। उस पे हमने वर्किंग की एंड ये हमने 2013 में वी हैव डिसाइडेड, 2013-14 में कि हम अपना ब्रांड लेके आएंगे और बाय 2015 we were able to develop our products without any preservatives and additives. पर उस वक्त भी ये हुआ कि हम 2015 में we were all बस हम लॉन्च करने लगे थे, तो there was some problems, so हमने we have decided to hold it off कि हम इसको होल्ड करते हैं और फिर कुछ। सो वी हैव लॉन्च आवर ब्रांड इन 2018। 2018 में हमने इंस्टा फूड्स का ब्रांड 100% नेचुरल फूड ब्रांड, पहला ब्रांड था जो कि 100% पाकिस्तान में जो 100% नेचुरल फूड ब्रांड था। और हमारी जो प्रोडक्ट्स वर वेरी डिफरेंट। ग्रीन चिली पाउडर जो हमारा है वो हम फर्स्ट टाइम पाकिस्तान में हमने लॉन्च किया। कन्वीनियंस, क्योंकि जिस तरह की अभी आप जैसे अभी हम बात कर रहे थे जैसे घर पर की भी कि मतलब टाइम नहीं है आजकल हमारे पास। हम सब चाहते हैं कि जल्दी जल्दी कर ले, तो उसमें हम बहुत सी कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस भी कर रहे होते हैं अपने फूड पे, अपनी चॉइसेस पे।
Very
तो
true.
हम ये
Very
चाहते हैं, हमारा मोटो ये है कि आप अपने हेल्थ पे अपनी अपनी हेल्थ पे आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज ना करें। और अब इसलिए हम ये फूड पाउडर्स जो है कि 100% नेचुरल पाउडर्स हैं, तो वो हम लेकर आए हैं ताकि ये कि आप यू कैन हैव हेल्थ विद कन्वीनियंस। कि इंस्टेंट पाउडर्स हैं, वी हैव लॉन्च बीट रूट पाउडर, देन वी हैव अ डिटॉक्स पाउडर जो कि सबसे ज़्यादा फेवरेट है हमारा। ये
Oh
फॉर
yes,
इट्स नॉट अबाउट
hands down
लूजिंग वेट, इट्स अबाउट कीपिंग योरसेल्फ हेल्दी एंड एनर्जेटिक।
healthy.
इस तरह की सारी हम प्रोडक्ट्स लेकर आए। और जो अभी हम एक ऑनलाइन बिजनेस और टेक के हवाले से जो कंपोनेंट है कि जब उस वक्त हमारा यही था कि टिपिकल एक ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस की तरह हमने भी वी हैव स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग एवरीवेयर। हम यहाँ पर भी चले जाएं, फला सुपर स्टोर में भी चले जाएं और हर जगह पे हो। बट जो जो चैलेंज हमारा था कि वी प्रोक्योर वेरी हाई क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल, और जो हमारा प्रोसेस है दैट इज अगेन वेरी इनोवेटिव, और उसकी जो हमारी कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इज वेरी हाई। सो वी कैन नॉट compete with the processed food. So that was the challenge
Okay.
कि जब हमने तकरीबन 1 साल के बाद ये रियलाइज किया कि वो हम बड़े खुश हैं, बट एट द एंड ऑफ डे वी हैव रियलाइज कि जी हम इट्स जो भी हमारी कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है वो तो कम, प्राइसेस हम कम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। हाँ, और ये कि इवन वी आर नॉट एबल टू ब्रेक इवन, बस वो आ रही जा रही है मगर कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, वी आर नॉट मेकिंग प्रॉफिट्स। क्वालिटी पे आप कंप्रोमाइज कर नहीं सकते हैं। सो व्हाट वी हैव डन, देन वी हैव कम विद दिस आइडिया, और इसमें आयशा का भी बड़ा रोल था। सो व्हाट वी हैव डन, we went to completely online, and this was before corona. This happened in last year 2019 में we have decided। 1 साल हमने सारे स्टोर्स के ऊपर, सुपर स्टोर्स पे स्टॉकिंग करके और सारा फिजिकल जगह पे, जगह जगह कराची, लाहौर, इस्लामाबाद, हर जगह पे हम चले गए थे। सो हमने ये किया, वी हैव डिसाइडेड वी वेंट कंप्लीटली ऑनलाइन। हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ जितने भी डिजिटल चैनल्स हैं वहाँ से हमने सेल करना शुरू किया। मार्केट प्लेसेस पे हम गए, अपनी वेबसाइट हमने बनाई, वेबसाइट, फेसबुक, व्हाट्सएप, जितने भी डिजिटल मीडिया चैनल्स थे हमने उनसे सेल करना शुरू की, एंड माशाल्लाह वी डिड वेरी वेल। देयर वर चैलेंजेस, डेफिनेटली चैलेंज होते हैं, और उसमें हमने सिर्फ एक ये जो समझती हूँ मैं कि हमारी जो सबसे जो बड़ा अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा ना, वो एक ह्यूमन एलिमेंट था, जो कि नॉर्मली यहाँ पे ऑनलाइन सेलिंग के अंदर लोगों को प्रॉब्लम आ रहा होता है कि लोग ऑर्डर कर देते हैं, उसके बाद क्या होता है कि रिटर्न रेट बहुत लोगों का होता है। हमारा जो ऑर्डर रिटर्न रेट है दैट इज वेरी लो, ऑलमोस्ट नन। उसका रीजन ये है कि व्हेनेवर वी गेट एन ऑर्डर वी ऑलवेज कॉल देम, कंफर्म विद देम, और वो एक ह्यूमन एलिमेंट रखा हुआ है। एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम व्हाट विल हैपन, उसमें हमारी एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट तो आ रही होती है, बट व्हाट विल हैपन व्हेन यू इंटरेक्ट विद समवन, अगर किसी आपने एक चीज आप ऑर्डर कर रहे होते हैं, यू गॉट टू नो अबाउट के, अच्छा उसका भी बता दीजिए, अच्छा उसका भी बता दीजिए, एंड somehow most of the time it happens किसी ने एक चीज ऑर्डर की होती है they end up ordering 2 or 3 more products. And there is one more thing जो मैं बात करना चाहूँगी यहाँ पे ऑनलाइन सेलिंग के हवाले से कि कंसिस्टेंसी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कंसिस्टेंसी इन क्वालिटी एंड द सर्विस। ये तीनों चीज़ें ऑनलाइन सेलिंग में बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करती हैं। कि जब भी आप ऑनलाइन सेलिंग करें तो यू शुड बी कंसिस्टेंसी होना चाहिए और साथ में ये कि जैसे कि जो प्रोडक्ट एक बार जा रही है क्लाइंट के पास, वो जब दोबारा ऑर्डर कर रहा है उसको वही सेम क्वालिटी मिलना चाहिए। दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इसी वजह से हमारी क्लाइंट रिटेंशन बहुत अच्छी है और हमारी रिपीटेड ऑर्डर्स बहुत ज़्यादा आ रहे होते हैं। जी शर्मिन, आप कुछ और पूछना चाहेंगी? मैं खुद ही बोली जा रही हूँ।
Yes. No, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, अच्छी बात है ना, you like taken my responsibility as well. So I wanted you to ask you about the market opportunities that InstaFoods has created.
Sharmin, is there anything you would like to ask?
Yes, I asked you about the market opportunities that you've created. I think there's some issue with the internet. Taminaba, can you hear me?
I think there is a connection problem. I can't hear
All
anything.
right, there is some internet issue. Hello, Nada Imran says, hello,
अच्छा,
talented ladies.
इसके अलावा आई वुड
Asma
लाइक,
Latif
इसके अलावा
asks,
एक और चीज़
hi.
भी बताना चाहूँगी कि वी वर्क विद मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटीज़ और हम जो है जैसे कि हमेशा वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं, वुमेन को market opportunities in a
Okay, so we're having some internet problems. Meanwhile, I'm going to now direct my questions towards Nida Jaffrey. Nida, कैसी हैं आप? Hello, how are you? So Nida's business, Nashte Wale, is a unique concept of a cloud kitchen. Up, you just place your order and the food is delivered. Nida, how did you come up with the idea? Or iski inspiration kahan se aayi? And I would also want you to move on to elaborating on that. आपने फिर अपना कोई brick and mortar system में क्यों नहीं set up किया? Nida, I think you need to unmute your mic.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Sharun, now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Achha, actually, when we started Nashte Wale, so the concept was that we'll make it a cloud kitchen for sure, because in India it was so common to having lots of cloud kitchens. But when it comes to Pakistan, so years back we were talking about this thing, how we can buy clothes without even touching them, how we can buy books without even having a complete overall view. So this idea was very much in my mind from quite a long time, that we can even do the same experiment with food. And I myself always prefer to order online because you have very less time in life. So that's how actually cloud kitchen के point of view से तो मैंने इसको हमेशा सोचा हुआ था that will be an online thing and it should be a deliverance, because I wanted to serve that convenience to you, that you can spend time with your family and you can be in your comfort zone and get your favorite meal at your own place. So there was no concept of having my outlet something जो मैं उस पे काम करती, तो इसलिए नाश्ते वाले को ऑनलाइन ही शुरू करना था और ऑनलाइन ही रखना था और डिलीवरेंस ही रखनी थी. And secondly, throughout this time tenure, बहुत ज़्यादा मुझे ये pressure भी आता है, और people are keep on asking that when you are coming on floor and when we are having the restaurant of Nashte Wala, where are you located is a most common question we have on our Instagram, on our Facebook, and
Mm,
everywhere.
mm,
But we have no
mm.
plan to be on floor at the moment for a long time period.
Right, right. This is lovely. So, Nida, what were the obstacles and the main struggles that you faced a lot in the start?
Being an online business,
Yes.
well, शुरू में it was a very common statement which I used to heard. I was not just online, I was a pre-order service as well. And when I tell
Okay.
people कि आपको, you have to tell me a day before or a week before that what you are going to have on this weekend for the dinner or for the breakfast. So it was a very common statement and reaction by people that how we can plan something a week before, or how we can tell you 2 days before what we are going to have in the breakfast. So
Acha,
it took me
सही.
very hard to convince people and tell this कि नहीं भाई ये plan भी हो सकता है that if you wanted to have pie तो आपको 2 दिन पहले सोचना पड़ता है, because my cooking took at least an overnight process for food. So
Yeah,
काफी
yeah.
reaction आया. शुरू में लोग समझते थे that अगर वो आपको पैसे भेज देंगे तो क्या गारंटी है कि आप उनको खाना भी भेजेंगे कि नहीं भेजेंगे. सो अब तो बहुत बड़ा चेंज आ गया that people wait for you कि आप next weekend पे क्या prepare कर रहे हैं and what you have in the backup. And now business is at position that even we don't ask people, sometimes we tell people that these are the options we are offering for this Sunday, if you are interested please opt it. So शुरू में it was very difficult.
Right, right. And what are the range of different food items that you cater to?
Well, when I started, actually, I started with categorically breakfast, but then
Right.
clients की ratio और flow इस तरह से था और demand इस तरह से थी कि हमें इसको multiple करना पड़ा. Like now at the moment we are
Mm.
serving high teas. At the moment we are serving lunch
Lovely.
boxes. We are working with corporate, and we are working with even the weddings and something like that. Our birthdays ke liye we are a big hit in the market because we cater small gatherings. Even if it's a gathering of 25, 30 people, we send our small kitchen setup to people. So it's a very, very convenient thing for everyone that you don't need to go to 5 different vendors. They came to our platform and it's a one window solution for their puris and for their paturas and for their tandoor and for their barbecue and their whatever the kadais and XYZ things they want. So Nashte Wale has a big range now.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I am just so happy to learn about that. And COVID proved to be a setback for many businesses, even online. What was your experience during that time?
I have been telling it from last 3 months actually
Yeah, I
that
know. That is why
COVID
I
gave
wanted you
me a
to
very
reinforce on that.
positive push. COVID gave me a very positive push in a way. पिछले जब COVID आया and all of a sudden we start getting such calls that there'll be no order from tomorrow onward, no breakfast, no corporate lunch, no school lunch, nothing like that. So we all get upset the way everyone was getting, and I was understanding that it'll maybe a few days flu and a few days infection and it will be over. So
Oh, yeah.
I make an understanding with few hospitals that I have enough food at the backup, and rather than refrigerating it or either freezing them, how about it if I'll be sending this food to the COVID positive patients? And with a minor research, we get to know that it's a high protein diet they'll be needing, and barbecue was my strength actually. So I start making those lunch boxes for the patients and start sending it to them. And from there a wave came जिसमें डॉक्टर्स बहुत ज़्यादा कोविड पेशेंट होना शुरू हो गए और लोग आइसोलेशन में जाना शुरू हो गए. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेप गिव अ बिग पुश टू नाश्ते वाले, बिकॉज लोगों को ये समझ आ गई कि इनकी डिलीवरेंस बिल्कुल कॉन्टेक्टलेस है, इनका प्रोटीन हाई का कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत क्लियर है, क्वालिटी एंड क्वांटिटी में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी. सो जिस वक्त लोग बिल्कुल शट डाउन पे थे, आई वाज डूइंग एडिशनल हायरिंग्स एक्चुअली.
Lovely, lovely. Lovely. This was such a smart move. Guys, I hope all of those who are listening right now, I hope you are picking on these points कि कितना important होता है कि realize करना कि एक threat आ रही है but उसको opportunity में कैसे convert करना है, market को study करना कितना important होता है, जिस तरह शमीला ने भी इस बारे में बात की थी. So I hope you guys are taking all these points, and because these are the things that you need to work on to start your business and to scale it up. Thank you so much, Nida. I'll come back to you again. And now I'll move on to Aisha.
Sure.
So before asking Aisha to explain her journey, I would like to remind you all, in fact, inform you all that you will get lots of amazing discounts आज skills to do and bazaar center की तरफ से, insta foods की तरफ से, घर पर की तरफ से, and we'll be discussing those discounts as well. Also, everyone who's joining this webinar, you can download your certificate of participation at 5 p.m. So, you will get that certificate for being a part of this lovely webinar. So, Aisha, aap bataiye, how did you come up with Skills to Do and Bazaar Center? And which came first, which came after? And aapki kya sari journey rahi? All right. So again, थोड़ा सा internet तंग कर रहा है. I am so thankful to all of you for bearing with us during this time. कि internet problems चल रही हैं, but still all of you are joining. And a lot of women wrote greetings in the start. I welcome you all, and I hope you're having a good time. Aisha, do we have you back? Okay. Meanwhile, I have a question for Shamila. Iba Qureshi says, good theme, Tamina. Thank you so much, Iba. And we're hearing a lot about your work as well, what you're doing for women in sports. That's wonderful. I think there's some problem going on, internet problem going on at Aisha's end. So as soon as that is sorted out, we'll have our panelists back. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, I can see them and, I can cater to them. And meanwhile, I'd like to talk to you about my journey a little. I have been working in the content industry for about the past 8 years. I am also a partner in a digital marketing agency, SoFlow. And I am also the community lead of Connected Women Pakistan. So my journey started off when I just married, and I was working online doing content writing job part time, and then slowly and gradually I realized that the content industry is growing bigger, and so I then started making my own clients. I got direct with them, and that's how my content business flourished. So we have Aisha back. I'll move on to my journey later. Aisha, how did you come up with Skills to Do and Bazar Center? What was the inspiration behind it? And which came first, which came after?
Okay. Thank you so much for asking this question, and thank you so much everybody who is still sticking around, because we still have a long way catching up with this new normal, internet connections issues and everything. But I really appreciate your
Yeah,
patience and your determination. Yeah. So coming back to the idea of Bazaar Center and Skills Studio. So previously, I was running this company that my husband and I co-founded with the name of Swishtag. So by profession, I'm a marketer, specifically online marketer. So after serving lots and lots of businesses, when this pandemic hit, so we learned that many of our clients started running out of their budgets for marketing, because obviously वो लोग अपनी products को अपनी services को sell नहीं कर पा रहे थे, so they were not able to make money out of it. Their
Mhm.
profit margin started shrinking, and even many of them started going on loss. So that was a terrible situation. And now, while being at Swish Tag, I was like, how and what would be the next step that we can help our clients and many others as well. So fortunately, I've been part of many women in business run groups. So वहाँ पे भी मैं ये देखी थी कि बहुत सारे लोगों को मसला आ रहा है. So that is why I came up with the idea कि okay, so we guys know the tech part, right? So my husband is a software engineer and he's been running his software house for a long time that merged into Swish Tag back then. So I came up with the idea that why don't we launch a platform where we can invite those businesses who are now being hit by pandemic, and those who have the products, क्योंकि products उनके पास पड़े हुए हैं, वो या तो पड़े हुए खराब हो जाएंगे and their business will be in a lot of loss again. So with Bazaar Center, we came up with another avenue for businesses to start online, to continue their journey online. And our particular market is those businesses who are already online, but they were being hit by pandemic. So you can say that came out of a rescue approach for those businesses to continue their journey online. So people can come and sign up as a vendor on our platform, and they can start selling. We do the marketing part and all, and we also take care of the delivery of the product, so that जिन लोगों को अभी products deliver करने का issue है, क्योंकि ये भी survey से we learned that people are not well aware of के shipment service कहाँ से लेनी है, उसको क्या करना है. So we thought कि
Mhm.
why
Mhm.
don't we take care of the headache. And also there was one more motivation behind Bazaar Center, that the job market also got hit. और बहुत सारी जो young jobians थी, उनके मुझे messages आते थे, and they would ask me कि if you have a job opportunity. So obviously, being a business, previously at Switch Drive, we were not able to get as many opportunities because we were not that big of a company. So this platform also gave this opportunity to have them as affiliates on board. So to build an ecosystem where people can sign up as an affiliate, or they help other businesses that are already on board at Bazaar Center to sell their products, and in return of selling those products, they'll be able to earn their commissions. So that was basically the idea behind coming up with Bazaar Center. It was out of a lot of um, a feel for the community that we really need to jump into something and help the businesses. And yes, with the skills to do part, again, because not many people are aware of the new skills in demand, and while they're losing their jobs, we figured out that we now need to work on short and biteable skills that people can learn just right away. They don't have to spend a lot on learning a skill, they don't have to spend a lot of time, because it might sound very interesting that all the courses that we're going to offer on skills to do are between 60 to 90 minutes, very easy to understand, and they actually help people to either enhance their existing skill, और अगर लोग कोई new skill सीखना चाह रहे हैं तो इतना थोड़ा सा time देना उनके लिए कोई भी मसला नहीं है. And all the skills that are being taught are under 2,500 rupees, so no big deal.
Wow, this is wonderful. So glad to learn about this. This is great. Acha, Aisha, what are the discounts that people are going to get today from being a part of this webinar?
Yes. So now at Bazaar Center, when we are onboarding businesses, so we just started to understand with our first few vendors that we took on board, because we were building the system, we were testing everything, and now that we're starting to generate sales for businesses and they're feeling happy, now is the time that we go on a broader scale and spread out nationally. So there is this registration fees, a membership fees that Bazaar Center has in order to have only those businesses who are seriously, spending their time and effort, and who actually want to grow it, right? So there is this minimal 6,000 rupees subscription for 2020. So people can sign up, just pay 6,000 rupees, and they'll be part of of this platform, of this marketplace, where we are already having lots of visitors every day. So we will set up, help them set up their stores. They can have a complete website like feeling there with their own branded URL, with Bazaar Center forward slash whatever the business name is. So pretty nominal, and the discount on that for today's event participants is they get a 50% discount again. So it reduces to just 3,000 rupees.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, which is I think is a gesture of support from Bazar Center and the team.
Lovely, lovely gesture, and I hope lots of people here avail this opportunity because it's very important to invest in yourself and invest in your business to help it grow. अच्छा, Aisha, I have a specific question for you. जब हम बिजनेस को स्केल अप करने की बात करते हैं तो naturally you have to spend in its marketing, but people nowadays, even though there's a shift in online businesses, they're very hesitant in investing in online marketing and in outsourcing an online marketing agency. Why is this hesitancy, and why do you think I want you to tell people and encourage them to overcome this resistance and understand the importance of online marketing?
Yes, definitely. This is a very good question and a very good point to ponder at the moment for all the businesses.
Right.
Um, this pandemic, and like nobody was ready for it. Nobody at all were thinking of this kind of situation where you just feel helpless, and that got accompanied by a lot of hopelessness, right? So now is the time कि हम इस चीज़ को understand करें कि if God forbid another situation like this might happen, which we are seeing that it is a very uncertain time, right? There are still these alerts and alarms that COVID might spread again, and we might be facing lots of lockdowns again. सो अब उसको देखते हुए हमने फ्यूचर से डरना नहीं है, हमने ये देखना है कि फ्यूचर में हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी कहाँ पे लाया करती है. It is just a little tweak in the way of doing businesses, and no matter lockdown है या क्या है, technology helps you to stay connected with the business and get all of your services that are required at a distance. So this is the time that we have to make a shift in order to lift our businesses. This is the time when we need to have this shift in our consumer behavior, that we need to go online and buy. जो कि हमने देखा भी है पिछली ईद के ऊपर, जिन लोगों ने कभी भी ऑनलाइन बाय नहीं किया, अब ईद का मौका था और नए कपड़े लेने थे और चीजें लेनी थी, so people were signing up on different platforms and buying. So काफी हलचल मची हुई थी different platforms के ऊपर. So for the businesses, this is a time of opportunity to just get this. I won't say a leap of faith because it is evident. It is the new normal that we need to adjust to, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yes, it is.
yes, so लोगों का जो एक lack of trust है on the online marketing, that is because we were also serving a lot of clients in Swisstrack, and that is a online business growth company. So that was majorly on helping them with their e-commerce setup and then marketing it and growing the business. So जो marketing का part है, because I've been also working with pardon my thought today. So we've been working with Facebook as well, and we were very fortunate to launch some co-branded certifications here. तो उससे पहले मुझे लगता था कि because people say that they are digital marketing experts, so we have tons and tons of people. This country is bursting out of, it's brimming with so many digital marketers. So I would
Saturation of monster.
Yes. So I would request those businesses, those startups, those consultants who tag themselves as digital marketer to own the responsibility and be very updated with the platform changes every day. Because जैसे हमारे normal routine में we have seen a lot of shift in how we are behaving towards our buying behavior, towards how we connect with our workspace as well. We've been working remotely, like we are connecting with our relatives, so everything is changed. So that creates a need for every platform, either it is Facebook, it's Google, it's Instagram, whatever platform they are using to do their business, to help other businesses to promote themselves. ये भी बहुत तेजी से change हो रहे हैं. So don't commit people any wrong stuff, because I think now is the time when we are accountable more than ever, because people have already absorbed this lots of shock, and then they are trying to regain the faith in the online platform. So we need to upskill ourselves, we need to reskill ourselves, and we have to serve the businesses in the best capacity that we can. so that there is जो एक lack of trust create हुआ है उसको हम कम कर सकें. We should be
Hmm.
able to improve upon it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Aisha, एक और चीज before I move back to Shamila, मार्केट रिसर्च पे थोड़ा सा और एलैबोरेट करें. जब बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं ना, अक्सर ही तो वो समझते नहीं है, रिसर्च नहीं करते कि क्या जो है इश्यूज क्या हैं, क्या नीड्स क्या हैं, हमारी टारगेट ऑडियंस क्या है. थोड़ा सा आई वुड वांट यू टू हाईलाइट ऑन दैट एंड गिव देम टिप्स to conduct a market survey and understand and build their target audience.
Sure, this is a very, very crucial point, because no matter how excited we are about starting a business, if there is not enough market for it, and even you start believing online marketing, but there is not enough market for your service, it is already saturated or it is not yet in demand, the business might collapse sooner or later.
Hmm.
So market research may, whenever we are going to start a business, for example, if I talk about skills to do, so I was actually coming with a very hands-on experience and a hands-on insight about the market when it comes to upskilling, reskilling themselves, with regards to, and that people have very short time to spend on an online skill, and people have actually got shrunken of the budget that they can spend on their on acquiring new skills. और ये जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस था, इट वाज कमिंग फ्रॉम बिकॉज आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ ई रोजगार प्रोग्राम व्हिच इज अ नेशनल लेवल प्रोग्राम बाय पंजाब गवर्नमेंट. So it's about the skill development. So I've been very fortunate to be one of the founding members of that program, and we were just discussing the idea to launching it on provincial level and then national level, and we served thousands and thousands of students. So that gave me a very first-hand experience on what are the skills in demand that actually help people sell them. Selling skill not for the sake of selling, right? So I just wanted to make sure that whatever skills we're going to launch, those are the skills that actually get people out of their hopelessness. These are the skills that when they showcase on their profile are immediately in demand, are immediately being a sought after kind of stuff. So market research is very very important, because one of the mistake that startups do is कि पहले वो एक solution बना लेते हैं, उसके लिए problem ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, instead of finding a problem and then making a solution around it, right? So it is very important for us. और market research का जब नाम लेते हैं, so हमारे ज़हन में आता है कि पता नहीं, we need to hire a company to do it essentially or something like that. I believe in making things very simple and natural. So what I do is, even with regards to Bazaar Center, I just looked around and saw the general behavior कि कहाँ कहाँ पे market gaps आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, market gap is जिसमें आता है where people are kind of skeptical as a consumer to buy something online, and they have no confidence or a very low confidence कि जो उनको घर पे चीज़ deliver होगी वो वही होगी जो उनको online दिखाई भी थी. So that made me put a strict eligibility criteria that the businesses we're going to take on board are already those who are already serving the market, right? So based on their customer review, we're going to take those businesses online, so that it also reduces our effort to go and check out the business or सारी चीजें, and it also reduces our credibility के जो ऊपर एक risk आ जाता है to put it on a risk, तो वो भी चीज़ से reduce होती है चीजें. So just look around, and Google is your best friend. Like go to YouTube, go to Facebook, search out the trends कि क्या trends चल रहे हैं और क्या चीजें हैं. अगर कोई business है setup हुआ है already and you are able to find out the gaps in them, so just work out those gaps. Like कि उसके ऊपर किसी ने कभी काम ना किया हो, right? Because we can see lots and lots of apparel businesses, lots and lots of beauty businesses, lots of technology businesses. They all have at least something to sell, something which is different than the other person. And it could be as simple as कि आफ्टर सेल सपोर्ट उनकी अच्छी है. इट कुड बी एज सिंपल एज कि उनका स्टाफ बहुत सपोर्टिव है, वो बात अच्छे से करते हैं, कम्युनिकेशन उनकी बहुत स्मूथ है. अब ये बहुत छोटी सी चीज़ें हैं. अगर किसी ने इवन सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस सेटअप किया है, तो सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस में कोई नई चीज़ नहीं है. इट इज़ वेयर हंड्रेड्स एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पीपल आर डूइंग. We just have to find out those little gaps जिसकी वजह से हम कस्टमर को फर्दर एक अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस दे सकें. I actually made a video on it कि in order to attract more business, start thinking customer centric. कि जब भी आप अपने बिजनेस को डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, you have to know कि what is the benefit for the customer in it. Don't brag about the features that you have. Don't brag about the extra
Yeah, yeah.
breakdown of services that you have. Tell them that this is how you're going to get benefit from it, right? Because
This
everybody
is the
wants to
value
learn what
that
is it
brings
from.
you. Yeah.
Yes. So it's very important, and it can be done as easily as just looking around and talking to people and asking them, "Ketcha, I'm going to do this thing. So what are your thoughts?" You can start learning about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, meanwhile that you had some internet problems, I was telling people about my journey. So, उसमें मैं बताने ये लगी थी कि then I figured when I started content writing, I figured out my USP was that I don't compromise on the quality of the content, but I'm very fast. Like I can do 1,000 words under 40 minutes. So,
Wow.
that was the thing that I targeted on, that when I used to get my work, find clients, that was the thing that I highlighted. So, this is the area of my next question that I'll ask Shamila, that what is, like, we all know that what is the USP of Ghar Par, but how do you think Ghar Par stands out from its competition in the market? And what is it that sets you apart?
So, Gharper is a very data-centric platform. So every time anybody uses that, and we have a very strong customer care and feedback loop. Whenever you book an appointment, you have to rate the technician and the service. If you're not rating for some reason, our feedback department will call you and get your feedback. And based on that, we keep compiling all the data and run our analysis on that, that what is that is bothering the client. हमारा QA QC वहाँ से निकलता है सारा. So these three components linked together make sure that we always provide the best quality service and the way the client wants it, because the end user is always right. We have to make sure that they are happy with our service. So we always say that we are bringing the salon to you, luxury to your house. So please help us and guide us. How can we keep improving it?
Right, right. This is what Aisha talked about as well, and I'm sure this is what you focus on as well. That we need to highlight कि आप customer को कैसे value दे रहे हैं, how
बिल्कुल.
important that is. अच्छा, इस process में Shamila, how important it is to use the right content and to use the right content medium to showcase your work and to connect with the your target audience.
So when we started, हमारा कौन सा था, as I told you, we started on social media, उसी पे हम market करते थे. So there was no content available online for at-home services. All the content, even the images, everything was based on like brick and mortar spa salon services. So whenever
Hmm.
we would put those pictures, people would not be able to relate to what actually we are providing them with. तो हमेशा पूछते थे कि जिस तरह अभी उन्होंने निदा ने भी कहा कि जी आपका सलोन किधर है. हमारे
Hmm.
पास सलोन नहीं है, हम आपके घर आके करते हैं. सो वेरी सून वी रियलाइज कि जी सारा कंटेंट हमें खुद ही जनरेट करना पड़ेगा. So,
Right.
so हम रोज we had like once a month, हम 2-3 दिन रखते थे, not once a month, like a week in a month. We would keep doing shoots to generate content for ourselves, so that there's relatability. The client can see कि जी एक किसी भी normal घर के अंदर ये service हो रही है, but the
Yes,
quality
yes.
of the service is as good as any top-notch salon. Everything, my technicians, they bring everything with them. So we had to show all these things to the client to prove that we are different from everybody else. As Aisha said, and even you mentioned before, okay, everybody has to make sure that that we tell the other person how are we different. Facials salon में भी
Absolutely.
हो रहे हैं, हम भी कह रहे हैं हम फेशियल्स कर रहे हैं, जो इनफॉर्मल मार्केट की कौन सी टेक्नीशियंस हैं वो भी दे रही हैं, मगर व्हाट इज इट दैट वी आर एडिंग, हमारी लाइक वैल्यू एडिशन क्या है. सो इट्स लाइक आपके घर पे हम दे रहे हैं, लग्जरी है, क्वालिटी उतनी ही अच्छी है, यू सेविंग टाइम, स्पेशली यंग मॉम्स एंड वर्किंग लेडीज. इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम टू गो आउट, लाइक ऑफिस से वापस आई हैं, अब उन्होंने सैलून जाना है, वहां जाके वेट करना है, सब कुछ. सो ये सारी चीजें हम एलिमिनेट करेंगे, सेविंग टाइम. दैट्स द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग फॉर मी, बीइंग अ मदर ऑफ 4 kids एंड अ वर्किंग लेडी, कि जब मैं घर आऊं तो मुझे पता हो कि अच्छा अब मुझे वापस से निकल के कहीं नहीं जाना. आई कैन रिलैक्स at home and get the services done.
Right, I absolutely agree with this. Acha, Rida Rahman has this question that how can we get plenty of clients that because she is struggling with getting more clients. Rida, next I would like you to specify कि आपका business क्या है, so we can better answer your question. But वैसे Shamila, how can one increase their clientele base?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Rida Rahman is one of the participants of the webinar. She's asked कि कैसे हम clients ज़्यादा हासिल कर सकते हैं, because there's always the struggle of getting more clients. So how can we widen our clientele base?
So सबसे पहले तो if you are just starting a business, it's your family and friends that will start using you, your own network. Then the word of mouth. आपके terms of, as I said before, the feedback and customer care department needs to be very, very strong so that the client feels at ease और वो फिर आगे अपने circles को बताना शुरू करेगा. We would always ask our clients कि please post about us on your social media so that people who are on their social media, their friends and family can view and they can come and see our platform कि ये किस तरह हो रहा है. There were two kinds of um, campaigns that we would run. एक awareness की campaign हम run करते थे और एक client conversion की हम campaign run करते थे. And Aisha from day one has been helping us. Swish Tag was the one जिनको हम लोगों ने onboard किया था और वो हमारे साथ हमारी marketing सारी करवाते थे. But these two campaigns were running simultaneously. एक हमने memberships लाने होते थे और फिर उन members को हम लोगों ने convert करना होता था. So start small, start with your own network, and eventually, and then ask them to spread the word to their networks. So एक बंदे अगर वो 100 बंदों को जानता है and you have 10 people, तो वो ripple effect होना शुरू हो जाएगा and your audience will start increasing. But you have to make sure that the quality of your product or service is as good as you're claiming.
Right. I absolutely agree with that. So I'll now invite all of our panelists on the screen, so we can have a more interactive panelist session. Okay, so I have this question from Hamad Yusuf that how can one manage the work-life balance? And I want all three of you to answer it one by one. So Nida, how do you manage the work-life balance? Nida, I think you need to unmute your mic.
I have unmuted it, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now loud and clear. So how do you manage the work-life balance? और आप कैसे अपनी दोनों responsibilities को juggle करती हैं और उसमें एक harmony लेके आती हैं? Can everyone else hear Nida or just me?
No, I think there's some internet connection issue.
All right. So meanwhile, while she's having that issue, I'll ask this question from Shamila. Shamila, how do you handle the work-life balance?
Very, very important question, actually, especially for a female. I have 4 kids and kids of all ages. My eldest is 20 and my youngest is 8. So everybody has their own demands. And then I have another baby, घर पर. So ये सारे को एक balance करना, I'm always in a yo-yo. कि कभी एक ज़्यादा हो रहा है, कभी दूसरा ज़्यादा हो रहा है. But I have been very lucky because my husband stepped in. And he's a businessman himself. And he said, "Kacha, theek hai, so let's sit and chalk out कि what all can you do? What is the time that is available? Because time is one thing that is finite for everyone. हम सारों के पास सिर्फ 24 घंटे ही दिन में है.
Yeah.
We have to play around this time. So we then we make a weekly plan, monthly plan कि क्या क्या हमारी important meetings हैं, किस तरह हैं, और फिर what free time do we both of us have, and how can we manage that time for the kids, making sure कि their progress is not affected as well. So we do that. But one thing, shuru mein when we started Ghar Par, was that I was giving in my 200% because we had to make sure that it succeeds. और मेरे पास उस वक्त बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं था. So I did ignore my children a lot.
Hmm.
Now, and my eldest was actually going through his final O levels. So I feel bad that I wasn't there for him as a mother, but I was there for him as a role model at that time, as a strength that yes, women are equal to men and we all need to work together in order to achieve. So I started delegating my things to my children and started telling them that you have to take decisions rather than I should
Hmm.
decide for yourself. So this was one thing that I learned when once I started my own business, and I think it's the best thing that I could have done to my children. Even my 8-year-old now knows that he has to make a decision, and then whatever decision he makes, because it's his decision, he has to own that decision and make sure that it is done. So this is how we manage everything, and of course, there's no one rule to it, and no, there's no right and wrong. Everybody has their own way of managing things.
I absolutely agree with you. And शमीला ने जो बात की उसमें कि बहुत important चीज़ थी understand करने की कि we especially women but generally people have a habit of micromanaging things. ये भी हम कर लें, ये भी हम कर लें, you know. But a very important time management rule is to delegate authority and, you know, to assign tasks to others. And that is what Shamila did with her kids as well. एंड ऑल्सो लेडीज अंडरस्टैंड के स्टार्ट में कभी होता है जब आप बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं थोड़ा सा टाइम एट टाइम किड्स का कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाता है sooner or later you will get to a point when things will be streamlined, so you know, stay put and don't lose hope. So Nida, coming back to you, how do you maintain that work life balance? uh, Nida, can are you here? ओके आयशा, सो आप सब पूछते हैं कि आप कैसे वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन करते हैं. यू लिटिल बेबी बॉय इज वंडरफुल माशाल्लाह, एंड ऑब्वियसली यू नो इज एट द टाइम व्हेन ही नीड्स योर टाइम एंड अटेंशन, एंड देन you have your household duties to cater to and your business. So how do you maintain that work life balance?
So after walking out of Swishtack, though a part of my heart is still there, will always be, right? So I just took my time to redefine a few priorities because I was a new mom when I made that decision, and then a pandemic hit, and then there was this. वो जो दर्द दिल शुरू हुआ था कि यार what needs to be done for the people who are not able to market their business, who are losing it and everything. So मैंने एक बड़ा छोटा सा अगेन मैं वही कहूँ मेरा मेरी अप्रोच होती है चीज़ों को बहुत ज़्यादा जितना मैं आसान कर सकूँ. सो समटाइम आई जस्ट डोंट गो बाय लॉट्स ऑफ फैंसी स्ट्रैटेजीज. तो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस में आई थिंक देर आर टाइम्स when we actually have to struggle with the actual balance because we have to set the expectations of people who are connected with us. So thoda sa wo ek time hota hai when we are trying to set the expectations and everything. Because with the baby, I actually took my 3 months off from everything. That was a very good time of reflection to plan out a few things and to set the expectation of my family as well. I would really thank my mother-in-law. She's a huge support when it comes to taking care of Muhammad. So my baby's name is Muhammad. Um, so she told me that I can see that you are staying at home and you are not able to go anywhere and you are not able to continue your work, and I can also see how it is upsetting you. I can see that on your face, right? So she was like, hey, you don't have to worry about it. You should continue your routine. And I said कि अम्मा मैं actually अब new plans बना के बैठी हुई हूँ and starting a business is going to take a lot of time. And she was very kind, and she said, "Okay, it's okay. You do your work, and you totally deserve to chase your dream." She I would say I'm very blessed in this sense that my mother-in-law really understands the importance of dreams for a woman. It's unfortunately the otherwise most of the times. So she's a lot of help when it comes to taking care of Muhammad. And I actually found out that it is a very good approach, at least in my opinion, to teach your baby from the very start that I'm not going to pamper you all the time, right? So the practice started quite earlier than I thought. While he was 4 months old. So I started to continue with my routine, and he started to spend some hours with his dado, and then it started to increase bit after bit, and now he's mashallah such a sociable kid that he would not hesitate any person who is coming at home, and he would give a very warm welcome like हाँ ही like मुझे उठा लें बस मुझे उठा लें वो आप आए हैं तो लगता है सबसे ज्यादा खुशी उन्हीं को ही हो रही है घर में ना कि कोई भी आ रहा
How
है.
sweet. How sweet.
Yeah, so he has started to build this nature कि कोई आ रहा है तो he is not afraid at all क्योंकि he stays in the hands of different people at home, right? So he has understood his lesson, and I think it makes it very easy for him and for me as well to live our lives. So when I am back home, I have very quality time with him, and he would welcome me like anything is just like 8 months old. But when
Yeah.
I and Hamad we step into our home and he's there and he would spread his arms like कि बस मुझे उठा लेना. I'm so happy that you are back home. So he's such a warm welcome that we look forward to when we're going home. So that is something that I found very naturally set हो गया था सब कुछ इस तरह से. So I think it is a lot of help for Muhammad and for me as well that he does not get upset if I'm not there, but he feels very happy when I'm there, right? So वो एक जो typical हमें एक वो चीज़ बताई जाती है again in my opinion कि आप बच्चे को पूरा टाइम नहीं दे रहे तो आप अच्छी मदर नहीं है या कनेक्शन खत्म हो जाएगा
Yeah,
ये है वो.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It totally changed the whole paradigm. And
Hmm.
I can see that when mothers with very young babies of his age are visiting our home, and we just try to hold their babies, and they are suddenly like crying because they don't want to get away from their mother. So it creates a trouble for the mother and for the baby as well. So with this routine and with the support of my mother-in-law, we are actually I think we have given this freedom to Muhammad that wherever he is, whatever kind of environment he is in, he can manage. So he feels happy when we are there again. And this is one big thing being a mother. And then with the work life balance, when it came to building a team, it was very important for me to, as a startup, to not, just rush into the idea and start making a lot of team and start spending a lot. Though I did my mistakes in the first 2 months, I spent a lot than needed. And when I actually checked my bank account and I was doing my accounting for the next few months, I was like, oh, I actually have made mistakes. So I need to come back. So for that, what I decided that okay, I need to hire another team member when I feel that when I'm home, I have to still work. जब मैं घर जा रही हूँ और फिर मुझे काम करने की जरूरत पड़ी है that means that now I need someone to handle this work, this kind of work that I'm doing at home. Because again, as I told that it was a very good time for reflection, the 3 month that I took off. So I decided I need to balance it. Like मेरी सुबह routine जो है ऑफिस में start हो रही है 10 a.m. 10 a.m. से 6 p.m. It's my office, maximum 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. ke baad, it's my family and me. And every day we have a lot of time to spend together. We have dinner together. We have good time, quality time. We don't have to just stick around to be a good family. It is just that when we are there, it's a very quality time, and we feel each other's presence. And the mobile and everything is just out of the reach, and it goes very well. So and the day
Yeah,
I
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, just wrapping that up, that in order to build a team, I again found a very simple formula that after hiring a few people, if there is something that I still have to do when I'm back home after giving my full at the office, now is the time that I need to hire someone else to take care of this work. So that's how it's working very well so far.
Yeah, wonderful. Like just like in products, I think in time as well, we need to prioritize quality over quantity. Instead of focusing on कि 4 घंटे या 5 घंटे या 6 घंटे साथ गुजरे, focus on having 1 or 2 hours of full quality with each other, wherein you do something meaningful, productive, and get to connect with your friends, your family, your loved ones और उनके साथ एक्चुअल टाइम स्पेंड करें। ये नहीं कि 6 घंटे से सारे लोग एक रूम में बैठे हैं, बस सबके हाथ में फ़ोन है और कोई मूवी देख रहा है, कोई नेटफ्लिक्स पे है। That is just you wasting time while your loved ones are there. So Nida, I hope our internet issues are sorted out now. So आप कैसे करती हैं वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन? Nida? You guys can hear me, right? It's just her internet? Yeah, okay. Okay, we had another question here. Someone wanted suggestions regarding digital marketing agency. So, Anita, do we have you back? Because I really wanted your input on that question. But if we don't, so I'll move on to the next question then.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So there is this. There's something where I can connect to Aisha, and Sharmeen is coming because my kids are in between both of the ages. Started, I found out it very difficult क्योंकि बच्चे ये कहना शुरू हो गए थे that you are a very bad amma and ये कैसे हो रहा है and we were very happy इससे पहले और एक टाइम आया था कि मैं डर भी गई थी और थक भी गई थी कि ये क्या हो गया ना कि for whom I'm doing everything and जिनके खुशी के लिए we have big plans of future in life, they're not happy. Strong session with few important people of my life, and आजकल वो टाइम है when I am actually doing my scalability plans. Very difficult to understand sometimes, but yes, I learned this particular methodology which Sharmeen is doing, and that is कि आप अपने बच्चों को और अपनी टीम को डेजिग्नेट करना शुरू कर दें चीज़ें और जब आप ड्यूटीज़ और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ शेयर करने की तरफ आ जाते हैं तो चीज़ें आसान होना शुरू हो गई मेरे लिए मतलब my kids start understanding that yes, she's an individual identity who's not just our mother, an individual independent person as well. So I'm glad they're very young to understand this concept, but they are understanding it. And things are very helpful in that manner कि अब वो लड़ाइयाँ कम हो गई हैं जो पिछले साल हो रही थी उनकी और best thing and cherry of my life is that they look forward but their amma is going and शुरू में वो वेबिनार से और इन चीज़ों से चिढ़ते थे कि आप फिर ऑनलाइन हैं आप ये करने लगी हैं आप फलाने मीटअप में जा रही हैं and now they think that their amma is something little important in society. The people are inviting them and she's making friends, and I taught them in a way that let me do all this and be my support, and one day you will be handling all this. And they still talk about it, who will be the CEO of this particular venture. So I enjoy it thoroughly actually.
Lovely, lovely. And I've met your older one, and I know how ambitious he is, and he has great ideas. So I can definitely see him there, inshallah. So, acha, ye cheez, one thing that I would do as well,
True.
yeah, I have a 7-year-old as well. And the start, COVID se pehle, he would, be very anxious and be very jittery about it. जब अच्छा अब आपका कोई और meetup है, अब आपको कहीं और जाना है. So what I would do is I would take him along and I would tell him, I would plan my trips as such कि उससे पहले I would leave like half an hour earlier. And if there would be a park in front of, before my meetup place or the office, I would take him there and we would have some nice time there. And then, I'd say like, okay, we've had some fun together. Now I have to go and work, and you have to, be my support there. And that really worked out for us, because in that manner he would see कि अच्छा चलो, okay, she has done this for me, and मेरे साथ खेला भी है, enjoy भी किया, now I have to do it for her. और अगर मेरा मीटअप पहले होता था तो he would, wait, or that park in time in park would be his prize for being patient and calm with Amma during the meeting. And मैंने इससे एक ये चीज बड़ी देखी कि lot of women felt safe, and they felt encouraged. Okay, we can, bring our kids as well. और अब इस चीज का concept भी बहुत हो रहा है कि if you don't have any option to leave your kids behind, you can bring them on during the meetup. Just a connected women mein, almost all our meetups allow you can bring your kids. Obviously, jo learning related workshops hote hain, we do encourage kids stay a little silent and are cooperative, because then the participants can learn better. But इस चीज पे भी जो अब focus हो रहा है, and the rise that we see in safe spaces and more supportive spaces where women can bring their kids, इससे भी बहुत ज़्यादा, ख़वातीन को support मिल रहा है, that they can maintain that work-life balance. Okay, we had this question regarding suggestions about a digital marketing agency. Aisha, what will your answer be on that?
Okay, so if this is regarding setting up a digital marketing agency, I would suggest that पहले तो सब लोगों को जो इशू आता है, people ask me कि how do we build our portfolio? So उसके लिए वो क्या करते हैं कि एजेंसी बना लेते हैं, ठीक है, और उसके बाद just because they know that they are little now, they start giving their services free, और उनको फिर जब ट्रांजिशन आती है किसी नए क्लाइंट को अप्रोच करके, now they want to charge, so it gets very hard for them to charge them something, क्योंकि वो पहले मार्केट में अपनी जो एक रेपुटेशन है वो बना चुके थे कि अच्छा यार ये बच्चे इन्होंने अभी अभी स्टार्ट किया है तो दे कैन वर्क फॉर फ्री. एंड वहाँ पे मैं हमेशा नहीं कहती हूँ कि इफ़ यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योर पोर्टफोलियो, either you do it on a minimal or you make something of your own, right? क्योंकि मुझे ये लगता है कि एक पर्सन जिसने अपनी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एजेंसी सेटअप करनी है, they should have done some good to themselves as well in terms of marketing, right? कुछ नहीं है तो at least they should have their own personal brand that they can showcase कि this is how I built my profile, this is how I've been serving people, this is how I've been connecting, so I actually know how the psyche of the platforms work, right? They can start with as little as a blog for themselves, and then they can build something on it, because at the end of the day marketing हम कर क्यों रहे हैं? We just want to attract the right people towards our business, towards whatever we are doing, so that whatever we are offering is of their interest. So पहली बात तो ये कि पोर्टफोलियो अगर आपने बनाना है तो पोर्टफोलियो या तो आप मिनिमल चार्ज करके बनाएं, अदरवाइज अगर आपने फ्री में करना है तो फ्री के लिए या तो आप अपना खुद का पोर्टफोलियो, अपनी पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग या अपना कोई पर्सनल वेंचर बना के अपनी जो आपने डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का जो पेज बनाया है उसको बढ़ा लें, ठीक है. दैट वुड बी अ वेरी वन गुड पोर्टफोलियो आइटम फॉर यू टू शोकेस. उसके अलावा इफ यू रियली वांट टू वर्क फॉर फ्री और वांट टू डू ऑन एन एग्रेसिव एक्सरसाइज, so what you can do is you can offer this service to charity organization, to some volunteer organization. They are
One.
they are yeah, so they should be actually the beneficiaries of your free services, not a business, right? हाँ, इसमें अब आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि when I don't want you to be always running after money, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, people who are just starting out their business, just go to them and give them some ideas, and people will be amazed, those who are starting their agency, that how many ideas they get when they are sharing their ideas of growing a business. So पहले तो ये, उसके बाद वर्क ऑन योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स लॉट. कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स से मेरी मुराद बिल्कुल भी ये नहीं है कि आप फेक करें, ठीक है, रियलिटी में आप कुछ और करें और जब आप क्लाइंट से बात करें यू स्टार्ट फेकिंग इट. विद कम्युनिकेशन आई मीन के मेक इट वेरी स्मूथ, मेक इट वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड इन टाइम. जो एक बहुत बड़ा मसला आता है लोगों को न्यू कंपनीज के ऊपर ट्रस्ट करने में, वो ये है कि कोई गलती हो गई है, आगे से कोई रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा, कैंपेन खराब चली गई है, कोई रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा, इंगेजमेंट खराब आ रही है, सेल्स नहीं आ रही, कोई आगे से रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा. दिस क्रिएट्स अ लैक ऑफ ट्रस्ट. कम्युनिकेशन में यू ऑल्सो हैव टू कम्युनिकेट दैट द कैंपेन इज नॉट वर्किंग फाइन, वी आर वर्किंग ऑन इट. इससे पहले कि क्लाइंट आपको आके बताए कि दिस इज नॉट वर्किंग, आप उन्हें बताएं कि वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज नॉट वर्किंग बट वी आर प्लेइंग आवर पार्ट टू स्मूथ इट आउट. ये पहली दो चीज़ें. तीसरी चीज़ है आपकी स्किल. तीसरी चीज मैं स्किल क्यों कह रही हूँ, क्योंकि यू कैन स्टार्ट अ डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एजेंसी इवन इफ यू आर नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट इन इट, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आपने एजेंसी स्टार्ट करनी, यू नीड टू बी अवेयर ऑफ हाउ टू रन अ बिजनेस, राइट? आपको एक ओवरव्यू तक भी पता है, even then you can start a marketing agency, because at the end of the day you do not want to work in the business, you want to work on the business. Only then you can expand it. अगर आपने क्लाइंट का काम भी खुद ही करना है, स्टार्ट में प्रॉब्लम को करना पड़ जाए, बट डोंट मेक इट अ हैबिट, अदरवाइज देयर विल बी नो नो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस जिसे हम कहते हैं, उसके करीब भी नहीं हम जा सकते हैं। एक बंदा जो है वो एक कैपेसिटी में काम कर सकता है, फिर उसका बर्न रेट आता है। थर्ड स्किल की थर्ड जो एक पॉइंट है उसमें है स्किल, कीप एनहांसिंग योर स्किल्स। इफ यू आर वर्किंग ऑन द बिजनेस यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योर मैनेजरियल स्किल्स, ठीक है, यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योर लीडरशिप स्किल्स, एंड देन ऑल्सो बी वेरी कॉशियस अबाउट हु यू आर ब्रिंगिंग ऑन द टेबल। अक्सर होता क्या है कि हम कहते हैं अच्छा यार, अच्छा तुम्हारा फेस पेज बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, अच्छा दोस्त है, चलो ठीक है आ जाओ, ठीक है तुम क्या कर रही हो, मैं फेसबुक पेज चलाना, अच्छा ठीक है तुम भी आ जाओ। तो टेबल पे जो लोग आ रहे हैं सबकी स्किल एक ही है, ठीक है, देयर इज नो डिफरेंस, सो देयर इज नो कोई सेंस नहीं उस चीज की बनती कि सब लोग जो टेबल पे आ रहे हैं, दोज हु आर बिल्डिंग अ टीम और ऑलरेडी शेयरिंग द सेम स्किल। Every next person who is coming on a table, especially in your startup phase, should be someone who is doing something जो कि बाकी लोग नहीं कर रहे और वो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से कर सकते हैं। And also don't go after the all rounders कि हमें ये भी आता है ये भी आता है। At the end of the day they will come up with lots of excuses कि अच्छा सॉरी वो अगर आप गूगल पे करवा लेते तो ज़्यादा अच्छी रिजल्ट, अच्छा सॉरी वो फेसबुक में ये मसला आ गया, ये चीज़ें। So go for people who specialize in a certain field. And the fourth cheese, when you have already onboarded a team, work on upskilling them, work on building their skills, work on helping them out to learn a skill, and also एक और चीज़ जो मैंने, क्योंकि मैंने खुद भी अपने करियर के स्टार्ट में काफ़ी जॉब्स की हैं, तो एक जो बड़ा कॉमन मसला होता है ना हमारे यहाँ पे, जब किसी को टीम लीड बना देते हैं या मैनेजर बना देते हैं, तो वो करते क्या है कि टीम को उनके अच्छे काम पे अप्रिशिएट नहीं करेंगे, जैसे ही कुछ गलत होगा साथ ही आके अकाउंटेबिलिटी पे ले
या
आएंगे या
क्रिटिसिज्म आ जाएगा बहुत ज़्यादा।
यस, तो डांट डपट करना शुरू कर देंगे, बिकॉज व्हेन वी आर वर्किंग ऑन अ बिजनेस वी डोंट, और सब लोग कहते हैं ना कि लाइक क्लाइंट इज द बॉस, क्लाइंट इज द बॉस, बट those people who are going to work for the boss, those people who are going to deliver to them, you have to take care of them first. आप अपनी टीम का अच्छे से ख्याल रख लेंगे, उनकी उनके इमोशनल कंसर्न्स, उनके लर्निंग के कंसर्न्स, उनका आप अच्छे से ख्याल रख लेंगे, देयर इज no second thought about it that they would love to work on the businesses that you are bringing to them. सो एक सेल्फ अकाउंटेबिलिटी का मैं लास्ट फैक्टर इसमें ज़रूर ऐड करूँगी, क्योंकि बहुत सारी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज क्या करती हैं, दे जस्ट स्टार्ट रनिंग द कैंपेन्स, अच्छा जी कैंपेन हमें चलानी आती है, ये सब कुछ है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वेयर आर द रिजल्ट्स, एंड लाइक हमने तो अपनी पूरी कोशिश की थी, where is the coaches, where are the numbers, where are the stats, where did they go, right? So a good digital marketer, good digital marketing agency, they're always accountable, they will always come up with the numbers, okay, this is what we committed and this is where we are today, right? And don't be afraid of failing a project. I had a very bad experience working with a startup a few days back, I won't mention their name obviously. They failed the project, they all they ruined my investment on the project, and at the end of the day they were they had this audacity to come up with an excuse कि क्योंकि हमने आपकी जो वीडियो प्रोडक्शन है उसके ऊपर हमने इतने पैसे लगा दिए हैं तो हमारा इतना नुकसान हो गया, एंड आई एक्चुअली पेड देम अपफ्रंट, राइट? सो आई पेड देम अपफ्रंट, एंड इवन आफ्टर दैट उनकी वो बिला वजह की जो लॉजिक्स हैं उनसे बचने के लिए आई पेड देम मोर कि भाई ये ले पकड़ें, ठीक है, एंड वट एवर डिड इट वॉज ऑफ नो यूज टू मी, एंड आई एक्चुअली पेड गुड अमाउंट ऑन दैट। तो उनके साथ मसला ये क्या था कि दे वर सो अफ्रेड ऑफ एक्सेप्टिंग देयर फेलियर। मैं साइकोलॉजिकली उनको अंडरस्टैंड करती इनको मसला क्या है, दे डोंट हैव दिस करेज टू से ओके वी अपोलोजाइज कि हमारे से
या
मिस्टेक हुई। इंस्टेड ऑफ आप सिर्फ ये कहते ना वी अंडरस्टैंड एंड वी अपोलोजाइज, यू बिजनेस में यू हैव टू हैव दिस एम्पैथी, और एक बंदा जो कि खुद बिजनेस करे ना उसको दूसरे बिजनेस के दर्द बहुत अच्छे तरीके से समझ आते हैं। So don't create that gap between you and your client when you have failed at something. ठीक है, compensate करना तो दूर की बात, मतलब that particular startup was like कि हमें पे करें क्योंकि हमने टाइम लगाया है, and after using nothing out of whatever they made, I actually ended up paying them more. ठीक है कि भाई ये ले, that was my commitment, ठीक है ये हो गया पे, अब इसके बाद हमारा अकाउंट जो है वो क्लोज्ड है, ठीक है। So that was a very अजीब किस्म का experience that I had. And what I will suggest is if you fail a project, it's okay. None of the companies, even the Fortune 500, are not at 100% success rate. right? So we being the startup need to understand that if we will fail, the only thing we need to do is learn from that failure, upskill ourselves, and the best thing what we can do is compensate our client on that, right? अगर एक महीने में अच्छे रिजल्ट नहीं आए, अगले महीने में आप उनसे कम चार्ज कर लें, ठीक है कि because we were not able to produce it, but we know where we are going, it will take time, so we are reducing our charges for this month, and there is no way that the client will leave you ever. Don't make a
Yeah,
transaction,
I get on
make
that.
a
Yeah,
client, like build a relationship. So those are my five
absolutely.
suggestions on building a digital marketing agency.
Absolutely. I completely second all of the points, and I'll take one of those points, building a relationship, and ask Shamila on that. At how do you focus on building a relationship with your clientele of Ghar Per?
So, as I mentioned before, our feedback loop and our customer care service is very, very strong. So, every time there is any complaint from any client or even a good review, we do call them up. And if there's a bad review, then we, the founders, we personally at times call them and try to understand what exactly went wrong and where. And it is our duty to make sure that we understand and empathize with our clients so that they don't leave the platform. They understand where we're coming from. We're human beings, we can make mistakes, but at the same time, we are accepting our
Right, right.
mistake. So we empathize with them and we tell them that, listen, we are very sorry. This will not happen again. And thank you so much for letting us know. And giving a discount is something totally different. We would discount आप दे दो जो मर्जी कर दो जब किसी के साथ कोई गलत सर्विस है they're not happy, make sure that they stay on the platform
Hmm.
is very very important. There'll be times people will say कि जी हमें तो discount आपका नहीं चाहिए, solve this problem of ours. So of course, हम फिर उसको like we take it to the next step. There have been times and where we actually went to meet the client and apologized. And अब फिर जिस technician के against वो होती है problem, we call that technician back to the office and ask her to do the service in front of us so that we can identify
Right,
exactly where the problem is lying and
right.
retrain her. So retraining is a very, very important part of Ghar Par. So that we make sure, as I said, that QA QC is very very important for us. So all these three steps, I keep
Yeah,
coming back to
yeah.
them, that our customer care, feedback loop, QA QC is like everything that keeps Gharpa going forward. So making sure that our client is happy and no matter, and of course
Hmm,
problems होंगी, ये तो
hmm,
impossible है
hmm.
कि आपकी कोई problem ना हो, but it's all about how you approach that problem and solve
Right.
that issue.
Actually, and now you have an app as well, right? And your technicians
Yes,
also need to know how to use it. And yes, so how
yes.
difficult was training them to do that?
So, हमारी कौन सी ट्रेनिंग वी हैव अ 3 month extensive training program
ठीक है.
जिसके अंदर we don't only teach them the technical skills like manicure pedicure facial, we teach soft skills to them as well, जिसके अंदर tech literacy आ जाती है, financial literacy है, उनके hygiene है, self grooming है, communication है, so all these things are taught to them. And उसके ऊपर like constantly every week we have tests on them कि जी हाँ where do they stand now, अब उनको कितनी समझ आई है, कितनी नहीं समझ आई, where do we want need to work on them. So हमारे एक पूरा एक सिस्टम उसके ऊपर चल रहा होता है. So yes, teaching them initially when they come, जब उनको हम टेक या बजटिंग सिखा रहे होते हैं, they just go crazy ke, how are we going to do this, but gradually with time, with hand holding, they understand everything. Or once
Hmm.
they're in the field, now when you see them it's like कि जी उनको कभी कोई problem थी ही नहीं, it's
Wow,
so natural for them now.
wonderful.
Sari, so we've gone like totally cashless in the sense कि our technicians उनको cash में payment होती है, but they don't come to us क्या कि वो हमें पैसे दें. So they have their own e-wallets and they transfer the money to us through the e-wallets or उनका जो होता है like after bi-monthly they get their salaries in their e-wallet. So everything is like so seamless now and they're very happy because शुरू में होता क्या था कि when they would get cash हमसे their husbands would take it from them. Now everything is all hidden and in e-wallets, so the husbands don't really know how much cash do they own. So जितना चाहिए होता है घर के लिए उतना वो निकाल के दे देती हैं, बाकी सेविंग के अंदर चला जाता है. So they've become a pro now as far as tech and financial literacy and everything else is concerned.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Shamina, you're also giving a discount. घर पर की तरफ से I heard we're getting some great discounts. तो क्या हैं वो discounts?
So the discount is that anybody who is present over here today can use a code called, let's call it Bazar Center. Okay.
Lovely,
So
lovely.
and they'll get a 15% discount on their entire bill, but this needs to be availed before the 11th of November.
Zabardast. So, everyone who's joined the webinar, you need to avail these discounts. Don't miss out on them. Or isi pe I would ask Aisha to reinforce the discount that she is offering. उसके बारे में एक दफा फिर से बता दीजिए, so सबको याद आ जाए, वापस recall हो जाए.
Sure. So the discount that we are offering is on Bazar Center, and it's for women-run businesses who are dealing in the product business. So women, आप लोग के जिनके भी product based businesses हैं, कोई भी tangible product है, and if you want to sell that online, and if you want to use Bazar Center as your new avenue to reach out to your customers, so you can have sorry for the bad throat.
That's
So
everything.
you can have a you can have a 50% discount on your registration, and you just have to enter Bazar Center as your coupon code, and then Skills to Do. You just have to enter Skills to Do because we are live with Skills to Do. So you have to enter Skills to Do as a coupon code, and you will get a straight 50% discount on your registration fee, which is already very minimal, like 6,000 subscription for 6 months. So you only have to pay 3,000. You'll be a member at Bazar Center. You'll be able to set up your shop completely running and be able to sell your products to your customers.
We can send these promo codes to the registrants as well, so they have the spellings correct of the offer by Gharpar and by Skills to Do, so they don't miss out on that. Do we have Nida here, or did she have internet problems?
I think she has the internet problem and is not here.
Right. Okay. So, if you have any more questions, any questions that anyone has, I'll ask the panelists them. Yes, someone is asking you, Shamila, if the app is still working. I'm sure it's still working.
Yes, the app is working, and if it's not working for you, that means that you haven't updated your app. So please kindly update it, and it will keep working.
Right. Right. All right. So in this space, in this journey of starting your business and expanding it and scaling it up, I would want both of you to one by one highlight your inspirations and people you're inspired by, and any specific women entrepreneur that you look up to. Shamila, you go first.
Woman entrepreneur. Very
Yeah.
interesting. I'm really inspired by Jennifer from Rent the Runway.
Right.
And if we come to Pakistan, there are two women who I really look up to. One is Hina Babar Ali, and the other is Seema Aziz from Barize. So I grew up just looking at them being amazing businesswomen, and how, especially Seema Aziz, how she started Barize from scratch and brought it to a level that it's international now. So very often I go sit with both of them and understand and learn from them. Like they're like my advisors and mentors, and keep guiding me on how and what I should do and keep going.
Right. That's wonderful. So if I take out the women element, any other people you look up to, any other entrepreneurs you look up to? Could be men too
I
this time.
So I do have another mentor again, and that's Salim Khori from Tech NetSort,
Lovely.
and so they all have the different parts to play in my journey. Salim is there for the tech part, Seema for the product part, Hina Babar Ali for like the overall business growth and all. So they guide me on different things, and then I just merge them together and see what can work for me and take that forward.
Right, right. Aisha, I would now like you to, give your answer on that. Who is your inspiration?
So I would say that there are many, and there will be many getting added to my inspiration list. So first, I grew up looking at my mother. Like she's been a wonderful, wonderful entrepreneurial, spirited lady. She did her apparel business, not exactly apparel, but the tailoring part of the apparel industry. So she had her tailoring unit, and also she ran that for about 25 years. So that's been an inspiration. So I grew up in that environment, so it was very natural for me to go for something of my own, no matter how many times I was failing at it. But ultimately I got where I actually started to learn that how to actually find a real problem and solve it and grow with that. And also there's this one inspiration. I forgot the name of the lady, but we had this discussion at the Akuat office. Many of us know Akuat, the biggest microfinance industry um, entity in the world. So they shared a story in 2015 when I just dropped out of my university in that year. So they shared that there was this lady who came to Akuat और आके उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे 100 रुपए का लोन दे दें. एंड दे वर लाइक कि 100 रुपए का लोन नहीं हम देते, आप एटलीस्ट आई गेस 5,000 या 10,000 का लोन था, उसके लिए आप अप्लाई करें. तो उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, मुझे 100 रुपए का लोन चाहिए और ये मैं आपको वापस कर दूंगी. एंड अपॉन हर कॉन्टिन्यूस इंसिस्ट दे सेड कि अच्छा ठीक है. तो कहते मैंने अपनी पॉकेट से निकाल के ना उनको 100 रुपीज़ मैंने दे दिए क्योंकि वो मैं लोन में तो नहीं दे सकता, हमारी पॉलिसी नहीं है. So she took that 100 rupees, and after a week she came back, and she had this mithai ka dabba in her hand and the 100 rupees to return, and they were amazed. And now that became a very intriguing story. And they said कि आप 100 रुपये भी लेकर आई हैं, मिठाई का डब्बा भी लेकर आई हैं, so that means you have a good news. She said yes. एंड शी सेड के मैंने क्या किया था, मैंने 100 रुपए के जाके मैंने आई बॉट एग्स. सर्दियों के दिन थे तब, काफ़ी पुरानी स्टोरी है, जब 2 रुपए का एक अंडा मिलता होता था. शी सेड कि मैंने 50 अंडे खरीदे और उनको मैंने बॉईल किया. कहते क्योंकि मेरे बेटे का स्कूल छूट गया था फीस ना देने की वजह से, तो मैंने उसे भी अपने साथ इन्वॉल्व किया. मैंने उससे कहा कि ये बॉइल्ड एग्स हैं और ये जाके नियर बाय में आप सेल करके आओ. एंड ही सोल्ड दोज एग्स. और अगली बार जो था उनके पास कैपेसिटी हो चुकी थी फॉर 100 eggs, and they continued. And back in
Wow.
2015, when we were listening to that story, that lady had 3 kitchens of her own. I've actually forgot the name, and that's unfortunate. But she had three
How
kitchens of her
wonderful,
own.
wonderful.
Yeah, selling very hygienic and good food. So that was a lot of inspiration for me. That if you
This is
have a will, you will find your way. So
definitely, definitely. Sorry to interrupt you, Aisha. Nida is trying to join, and you'll have to admit, Nida.
um, I cannot see her on the panel. Can you please ask her to join again?
Yeah, I did message her. I because I'm also hosting, so uh,
Yeah, I can. Yeah. And yes, one big inspiration for me, not because he made the first $1 trillion company, but back in 2013 when I was just a student and totally lost and actually had no clue how to find a purpose in life. But I had that urge कि मैंने जिंदगी में कुछ करना है, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, no idea. No idea, no confidence, nothing. So I stumbled upon Steve Jobs' few quotes. I read those quotes, and particularly his part of self exploration was my start of exploring myself, of self awareness and all. So that is where I started to learn things, where I started to listen to my heart instead of listening to what everybody else is saying outside. So it was a long journey to actually start to listen and understand what I wanted from myself and what I was capable of doing. And every next year, I was surprised what I have achieved in in the previous year. So I actually kind of like that feeling of surprising myself, looking in the previous year. So these are very humble steps, but Alhamdulillah, I'm very fortunate to find all these mentors and inspirations, and there are many, just like Shamila is here. So working with her was a great, great, great experience. Knowing about Ghar knowing about how they actually found a problem, and actually this was I wouldn't say it's a it was just a business idea, or it's even a entrepreneurial initiative. It was more of a breakthrough. It was more of challenging a mindset in our country, because those are the hurdles that people take as like they get haunted by them. या लोगों का mindset ऐसा कैसे change करेंगे? So they did not tap into a market. They created a market, which is very very difficult. But they were very successful in it, mashallah. So she's
Mashallah.
been an inspiration. Yeah, and also Tamina, she just left. So
Yeah, yeah. So, Aisha, when you talk and when Shamila is talking, I just want you both to go on. It's just so amazing listening to both of you. Shamila, there are times in every entrepreneur's journey where you feel shattered, you feel shaken, you feel things are not going right, you feel demotivated. Were there such times in your journey, and when those times happened, how did you gather yourself, and how did you then get yourself back on track, and how did you tell yourself that every cloud does have a silver lining?
Oh, very good question, actually, because there have been many a times when you're like, is this actually going to work? What are we doing? So, first time when we set out to get investment, everywhere we would go, we would find all these investors just saying no in a way. They're like, oh, very good idea, great job, you're helping the community,
Yeah.
excellent. But असल में पैसे कोई देता ही नहीं था. Like,
Yeah.
what is it that we are doing wrong? No, nobody wants to invest in us. Our numbers are so good, and there has to be something wrong. And we figured it out. It's just that we are females, and men somehow are hesitant to invest in a female-led company because they think, especially a
Mm,
beauty
mm.
like the service industry, because they think कि अच्छा ये फारिग औरतें बैठी हुई थी कोई काम नहीं
Yeah,
था
yeah.
करने को तो इसलिए इन्होंने ये काम शुरू कर दिया, and they don't realize कि इसके पीछे commitment कितनी है हमारी. So I wasn't a young college graduate who had nothing to do, और मैंने कहा कि चलो मैं experiment करती हूँ. Yeah, I was in my 40s when I started this business, so I exactly knew what I was doing. And then we started tapping our family and friends and got our first angel investment. And ever since, we never needed more investment. We're like, we are self-sustainable. The other
Wow.
thing, जो हमें there are times जब हम बहुत we feel low is when onboarding these women शुरू में जब हमें problems हो रही थी. लेकिन हम इतनी मेहनत करके इनको ऑनबोर्ड करने की कोशिश करते हैं, they don't want to come and join our platform, or their family members don't want them to join the platform. So this was a very, very big struggle and hurdle for us, that how do we overcome this? But as Aisha said, thank you, Aisha, we did not give up. We're like, there has to be a solution. Every problem has a solution. So we started tapping into the males of the family. Like, Acha ji, you become a part of this business. It's a family business that you will be starting. So rather than pitching to the females, we started pitching to the male members. कि जी आप
Right,
अपनी बीवी
right.
को इजाजत दें और वो कमाएगी और आपको भी बीच में से कट मिलेगा, and it's going to be great.
Great.
That made sense to them. Oh yes, we'll stay in control. तो हम ये कर लेते हैं. So
Right.
this was number two. Number three, as I mentioned before, was tech. कि हमारा जो टेक था वो बना और इतना खराब कि हम कि लाइक सारे पैसे इस पे लग गए हैं, हम रोने वाले. फिर लाइक अच्छा नहीं, but it's okay. It was a learning experience for us. So it's not that you fail, you learn from your mistakes, and you make sure that
Absolutely.
you don't make the mistakes again, and you move forward. So these were a few hurdles that we faced. Okay, and winters. So winters में जब हमारी demand बिल्कुल नीचे जाती है, that hurts the most. कि वो सर्दियाँ आ गई हैं, अब डिमांड का हमने क्या करना है? So coming up with solutions and making sure that the demand is there to sustain and keep these like demand coming in for the technicians. So it's always challenging, but that's what keeps us excited and keep us going.
Great, great, wonderful. So, Nida, good to have you back. Do we have you here with us now? Yes, Nida. Do we have you here with us? Can you hear me? Okay, so we'll address the comments. Any comments, any questions meanwhile as well? Any questions that you have? And impressive mother, mashallah. I think this goes out to all the women entrepreneurs here. All of them are impressive mothers. Yes, Nida. So मैंने पहले पूछा था कि any
I hope so.
person,
Mhm.
हाँ, any woman or male entrepreneur that you're inspired by and your mentor that you look up to. Okay, so हमारे पास बहुत अच्छे comments आ रहे हैं. People are, saying that we're all inspiring women and we're great mothers. And if we give other brand e-store. Okay. Ali Zia is asking, what's the attractive initial package for digital marketing agency which they offer? Aisha, I think you'll be the best person to answer that.
Thank you, thank you. So, Ali, for an attractive package, you have to actually figure out कि आप value क्या provide कर रहे हैं. You always have to keep that in mind कि आपने जो भी charge करें, it has to be value against money. आपका client आपको जो भी pay करे, they should be getting a value out of it, right? और digital marketing में there are many areas. तो आपने figure out करना है कि what is it that you can do the best, ठीक है? और what is it that you at least feel confident कि you can bring the results for your clients with. तो आपने वो एरियाज को फाइंड आउट करना है, उनको ब्रेक डाउन करना है उन सर्विसेज को. आइदर फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फेसबुक, राइट? तो आपने देखते हैं कि आप फेसबुक का पेज मैनेज करते हैं, उस पर पोस्ट लगाते हैं, उसके ऊपर आप कैप्शंस लिखे, यानी कि आप प्रॉपर एक मीडिया प्लानिंग करें, कैंपेन प्लानिंग करते हैं, उनके लिए स्ट्रेटजाइज करते हैं. नेक्स्ट आप क्या करते हैं? कम्युनिटी मैनेजमेंट करते हैं. कम्युनिटी मैनेजमेंट में क्या आता है कि आप मैसेजेस को डील करते हैं, जो कि कस्टमर सपोर्ट का बहुत ही अहम हिस्सा है कि आपके फेसबुक पेज पे जितने मैसेजेस आ रहे हो आपने उनको एड्रेस करना है. इट बिल्ड्स अ रिलेशनशिप विद योर टारगेट ऑडियंस. कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, आपने उनको रिप्लाई करना है. एंड द थर्ड पार्ट विच इज़ द मोस्ट एडवांस एंड द टेकी पार्ट इज द मीडिया बाइंग, जिसमें आप पेड कैंपेन्स कर रहे होते हैं. अब आपने इन सब चीज़ों में देखना है कि आप सर्विसेज क्या क्या प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं और उन सर्विसेज के अगेंस्ट आप अपने क्लाइंट्स को वैल्यू कितनी प्रोवाइड करें. तो वहाँ पे यू नीड टू कम अप विद अ प्राइस पॉइंट. आई कैन नॉट गिव यू अ फिगर कि इससे आप स्टार्ट करें, बिकॉज इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स कि आप टारगेट किस मार्केट को करना चाह रहे हैं. एंड व्हेन आई से दिस आई वुड मेंशन दिस कि यू हैव टू कम अप विद अ वेरी वेल थॉट आउट टारगेट मार्केट. ऐसा नहीं सोचना कि मैंने डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एजेंसी स्टार्ट की तो एवरीबडी इज माई कस्टमर, एवरीबडी इज माई प्रॉस्पेक्ट. तो ऐसा नहीं होगा. The better approach in today's time is that you pick one market, pick one industry. For example, you say that you will do digital marketing for real estate companies, right? So just pick that one and be unbeatable in that. ठीक है? जब आप लोगों को रिजल्ट देने के काबिल हो जाएंगे, you will actually understand कि आप जो रिजल्ट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं और उसके लिए आपको जितनी एफर्ट लगती है, दैट इज वेयर यू शुड कम अप विद अ प्राइस पॉइंट के. अच्छा, एंड देन यू कैन ऑल्सो ब्रेक इट डाउन इनटू पैकेजेस. What we did at SwitchTech in the start, we were at getting a quote kind of company. They get a quote because we were still trying to find out the price point for the local market, क्योंकि उससे पहले हम लोग इंटरनेशनली ही डील कर रहे थे. So after serving couple of clients, 5-10 clients को सर्व करने के बाद, we actually came up with the packages as well, क्योंकि हमें उससे अंदाजा होगा कि how much people are willing to pay against this and this service. सो एक और अप्रोच ये हो सकती है कि यू स्टार्ट आउट विद गेट अ कोड काइंड ऑफ स्टफ, और उसके बाद जब आप 5 से 10 क्लाइंट्स को सर्व करें तो आपको समझ आ जाएगी कि आपने अब पैकेजेस जो स्टैंडर्डाइज हैं वो किन पॉइंट्स के ऊपर बनाने हैं और वो कितने हों कि लोग उनको रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं. सो वी हैव Nida back with us with this.
Yeah, so great answer, Aisha. Very well
मैं वापस
explained.
मैं काफी
Nida?
देर से गई थी जी
Yeah, because we asked you a question and वो आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी, and so that is when then your picture disappeared. So that is why I then asked Aisha. निदा, पहले
बताइए
आप बताइए कि आपके कौन से inspirations हैं, कौन से entrepreneurs या mentors and that you look up to and that you've learned from, and then I want you to elaborate on any times that you felt shaken in your business or that you've experienced a setback, and how did you revive your motivation in that time?
ठीक तो I'm bit super energetic since my childhood demotivated थकती भी बहुत कम हूँ उसकी एक वजह शायद ये है that I am very blessed with very motivated people and people who are very energetic. So जब आप ऐसे लोगों के ग्रुप में रहते हैं तो आप के पास डिमोटिवेट होने का टाइम ही नहीं होता है एक्चुअली अभी आप 4 चीज़ें सोच रहे होते हैं तो 6 आपके ऊपर मजीद आ जाती हैं सो एक तो ये वाला फेज़ मैंने अभी तक अल्लाह का शुक्र है फेस नहीं किया और दूसरा जहाँ तक रहेगी इंस्पिरेशंस वाली बात तो काउंटलेस आई कांट name anyone in particular in fact all of you when I saw very young people जो कि बहुत छोटी उम्र के हैं amazing jobs that they are sometimes inspirations and people like this घर पे kind of a project even is a beautiful example like you are in your 40s and it's never too late to start something very wisely and with a complete understanding that what exactly I wanted to do actually ऐसे नहीं कि आप कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं और जो मैंने पिछले कुछ टाइम पीरियड में सीखा शरून इट वाज कि इट्स नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट कि योर academical background and the business you are
Mhm.
doing should be same
Hmm.
sometimes आपको पता भी नहीं होता कि आपके अंदर क्या what we wanted to do और वो क्या का क्या बन जाता है like I'm into the food business is not because of the food actually is because of the packaging because packing and making food look so festive that I'm into the business say table setting or plates का combination food के साथ this was actually I was enjoying in this business and it turned out to be my USP actually whomever I serve always talk the way they presented that food was very very amazing and actually and that's the repeat client reason in my business so बहुत सारी इंस्पिरेशन है मैं तो जिस जिसको देखती हूँ इंस्पायर ही होती रहती हूँ हर वक्त
Oh, this is just such a nice thing to say, and that shows of how optimistic you are, and how you seek positivities and you take the good aspect of everything. That's lovely. मैं यहाँ पे रिमाइंड कर दूँ कि ऑलमोस्ट 5 बज चुके हैं, so you will get your certificate of participation at 5 p.m. and for that you have to log in at skillstodo.com/live, right, Aisha? I hope I am saying that correct. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Any
you're
other
right.
comments? Any other questions we have from the participants? If we want to learn more from you, how do I contact you? And this is specifically for home, but okay, if anybody wants to contact all of our panelists right here, how can they do that?
They can always message us on Skills to Do, and we would love to connect them with the speakers, keeping their availability in view.
Right. Great. Acha, Nida के लिए मेरे पास एक question था. Nida, you were also previously doing a job and then you completely, like switched from it to your business. How was that? How was that transition and how did you make that?
sorry you have to again I can't hear you
अच्छा, आपने अपनी जॉब छोड़ी and then you switched to your business. So how was that transition? And then we'll wrap up the session.
Acha, you are yourself is one of the person who was with me in this decision when I was taking it, because for the first time when I meet you people on Connected Women of Pakistan and discuss this idea, I was like,
Okay, so the session's almost come to its end. It was so insightful and so amazing to learn from all of you. Any last words of encouragement, motivation to the listeners, Shamila?
Sorry. Um, Only one liner.
Yeah,
Dream big and work harder.
beautiful, beautiful.
That's
Couldn't
it.
have summed it better. Aisha.
I think Shamina said it very well. A few words,
Yeah.
but very nicely put together. So I would say, whatever you want to do, start it from where you are, and things will start working out your way, provided that you don't quit, provided that you learn and improve. So that's from me, that wherever you are, just start it from there. There is no better day than today.
Yeah. And here I would, like to highlight and build on that guys set attainable goals. हम जब भी कोई काम स्टार्ट करते हैं ना, हम ये सोचते हैं कि ओके इतने फंड्स आ जाएंगे तो देन आई विल स्टार्ट इट, इतनी स्किल्स आ जाएंगी तो फिर मैं करूंगा स्टार्ट या मैं करूंगी स्टार्ट, ये हो जाएगा तो फिर देयर इज नो परफेक्ट टाइम, नो परफेक्ट डे for you to get started with what you want to do. You need to analyze your current resources available at your disposal and use them to do whatever it is that you want to do right now. Obviously अपनी रिसर्च करें, प्लान करें और फिर चीज़ों को स्टार्ट करें विद योर रिसोर्सेज दैट यू हैव. ये जो हम कहते हैं ना इतना हो जाएगा, तो वो इतने तक पहुंचने के लिए यू हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम समवेयर. So set attainable goals always. So anything else that Aisha, you or Shamila want to highlight on?
I would just want to say thank you to everyone who took out their time and joined us in this live session, and especially thanks to all the speakers, because all of you are working on your businesses, and it's this time cannot be compensated at any worth of like. I'm just very glad that we all made it today, and I hope that it was very helpful for those who spend their time with us today.
And
I
thank
am
you for
sure it
having us.
was. Thank you so much, Shamila. Thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you, Nada. And thank you, Tamina Chaudhary. She had to go because she wasn't feeling well. And thank you, all the panelists and speakers. You guys were amazing. And thank you for the audience for being such an amazing support. We wish you all the very best in your entrepreneurial journey. And you have all these platforms that you can make use of and you leverage the power of. So do that. एंड इन डिस्काउंट्स को ज़रूर यूज़ करें जो घर पर और स्किल्स टू डू की तरफ से हैं. अपने सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ पार्टिसिपेशन लेना मत भूलिएगा. हैव अ वेरी गुड डे एंड वीक अहेड. टेक केयर. अल्लाह हाफिज़.